Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. Of course, we're continuing our reading of Hamlet. So, if you remember from Act 2, which we read last time, if you haven't already, go check that out, or check out our reading of Act 1 so you can get all caught up. Hamlet see his father's ghost, and his slipping into madness. King Claudia has sent and Hamlet's friends to essentially check up on him and make sure he's okay and everything. But Hamlet knows what he has to do to expose his uncle, aka the new king, aka the man that murdered uh, hurt King Hamlet. So he's going the extra mile for this one. And if you're sitting down, you might want to stand up. He's gonna organize a play, pretty much reenacting King Hamlet being killed, or at least to an extent, reenacting that, and essentially going to gauge King Claudius's reaction. So, how's it gonna turn out for him? Let's find out as we move into scene or Act Three, I should say. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my light on. But we're moving, of course, into Scene Three. Not Scene Three, Act Three of Hamlet. This does have Scene Three, but we're gonna move into Act Three of Hamlet here. So, a couple things also before we begin. Of course, excuse me. Of course, if you if this is your first episode of Dixie from the Labyrinth, welcome. If not, welcome back. We do normally do poetry, mainly reading and analyzing poetry, but sometimes we delve into stories similar to this one. We've also read Shakespeare and other Shakespeare that is in Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth. So if you ever go check out the readings of those and check out my review I did of Romeo plus Juliet on Sunday. So I check all that out after this video, of course. But also the other thing is that this is his for starters, this is courtesy of the Folger Shakespeare Library, where, as you can see by the site here, they have all kinds of Shakespeare text and everything, and they're linked in the description. The full play is linked in the description, so you can read the play on your own time. You can use it to follow along with me. So it's in the description for you guys to check out. But also, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading the main text itself, and we're going to do this for each scene. We're going to be reading the main text, and then we're going to be reading the synopsis, and then expounding upon it, expounding upon what we have read. So, without further ado, I've dilly-dallied long enough. Let's get right into it. So, enter King, Queen, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and lords, and a partridge in a pear tree. Wow, it's a lot of people, but let's get into it. And can you by no drift or of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grading so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy? He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak. Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof, when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state. Did he receive you well? Most like a gentleman, but with much forcing of his disposition. And I'm not going to read that word, but of question, but of our demands, most free in his reply. I promise it's not racist, it's just kind of the language of the time. Did you assay him to any pastime? Madam, it so fell out that certain players were aurat on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and, as I think that have already order this night to play before him. 'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter with all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose into these delights. We shall, my lord. And Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and all the lords exit. Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear, affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him, as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for. I shall obey you, and for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors. Madam, I wish it may. And the queen exits. Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this, 'tis too much proved, that with devotion's visage and pious action we do sugar o'er the devil himself. Oh, 'tis true, how smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. The harlot's cheek beautied with plastering art is not more ugly to the thing that helps it. That hand than is my deed to my most painted word. Oh, heavy burden. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord. And they withdraw. And then enter Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks. That flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation, devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would ferals bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thoughts, and enterprises of great pitch and moment, with disregard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered. Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day? I humbly thank you well. My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them. No, not I. I never gave you aught. My high honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed, as made the things more rich, their perfume lost. Take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord. Ha, ha, are you honest, my lord? Are you fair? What means your lordship? That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty. Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty? Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once. Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so. You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not. I was the more deceived. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father? At home, my lord. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell. Oh, help him, you sweet heavens. If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, farewell. Or get thee to a nunnery, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough of what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell. Heavenly powers, restore him. I have heard of your paintings too, well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that had are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go. And he exits. Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down, and I, of ladies most dejected and wretched, that sucked the honey of his musicked vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of time and harsh, that unmatched form and stature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see. He, Polonius, oh, he's advancing with Polonius. Okay, sorry. Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, or which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatchet that disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent, I have in quick determination. Let us set it down. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Happily the seas, and countries different, with variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus, from fashion of himself. What think you on it? It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please. But if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think. It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go. And they exit. So the synopsis here, right, if I can scroll up, is yeah. Oh, hang on. Nope, actually, I jumped to scene 4. Yeah, okay. I actually jumped to scene 4 somehow, but all right. Anyway, the synopsis here is: after Rosencrantz and Guildenstern report their failure to find the cause of Hamlet's madness, Polonius places Ophelia where he and Claudius may secretly observe a meeting between her and Hamlet. Hamlet is at first courteous to Ophelia, but suddenly he turns on her. He denies having loved her, asks where her father is, attacks womankind, and tells her she should enter a nunnery. After Hamlet exits, Claudius decides that Hamlet's erratic behavior is not caused by love and announces a plan to send Hamlet on an embassy to England. Polonius persuades Claudius to take no action until Gertrude talks with Hamlet after the play, which is scheduled for that evening. So a couple things here. For starters, Hamlet, and as they alluded to, what Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were talking about, Hamlet, mad, but had partially crazy. He maybe not full on crazy, but maybe crazy like a fox, because he's trying. It seems like it's almost intentional, almost acting intentionally to kind of throw off his plan, and that plan is obviously to expose his uncle. So kind of doing this on purpose, but I guess, but Hamlet saying he's totally not into Ophelia at all. While he's not feeling her, which is poor Ophelia. Yeah, but Ophelia, it happens sometimes. It happens. It's just part of life. But the other thing is that Claudius seems to want to send Hamlet away, but Polonius tells him wait until after the play later on that night. So that play that Hamlet organized to expose his uncle, yeah, Hamlet organized it for the next night. So he quickly got to work. As soon as he hatched the idea, he quickly got to work, which is definitely not how plays work. Plays take a lot of time to plan, but we'll see how it plays out as we move into scene 2 here. Enter Hamlet and three of the players, and by players they mean like actors. Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounce it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hand. Thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and, as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it soothness. As it offends me to the soul to your robustious periwig pated fellow tear passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I would have such a fellow whipped for o'erdoings hermagans. It out Herod's Herod. Pray you, avoid it. I warrant your honor. Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with the special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature, for anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time his form and pressure. Now this overdone or come tardy of, though it makes the unskilful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the censure of the which one must in your allowance or weigh a whole theatre of others. Oh, there be players that I have seen play and heard others praise, and that highly, not to speak it profanely, that, neither having the accent of Christians, nor the gait of Christian, pagan, nor man, have so strutted and bellowed that I have thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably. I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir. Oh, reform it altogether, and let those that play your clown speak no more than is set down for them. For there be of them that will themselves laugh, to set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too, though in the meantime some necessary question of the play be then to be considered. That's villainous and shows a most pitiful ambition in the fool that uses it. Go, make you ready, and the players exit. Enter Polonius, Guildenstern, and Rosencrantz. How now, my lord, will the king hear this piece of work, and the queen too, and that presently? Oh, it should be how now will the king hear this piece of work? So, inflictions. It's all about inflictions, people. But anyway, and the queen too, and that presently. Bid the players make haste, and Polonius exits. Will you two help to hasten them? Aye, my lord. They exit. What ho, Horatio, and enter Horatio. Here, sweet lord, at your service. Horatio, thou art even just a man, as ere or ever my conversation coped withal. Oh, my dear lord, nay, do not think I flatter. From what advancement may I hope from thee, that no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? Why should the poor be flattered? No, let the candied tongue lick absurd pomp, and crook the pregnant hinges of the knee, where thrift may follow fawning. Dost thou hear? Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice, and could of men distinguish her election hath sealed thee for herself. For thou hast been, as one in suffering all that suffers nothing, a man that fortune's buffets and rewards has ta'en with equal thanks, and blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commeddled, that the hay are not a pipe for fortune's finger, to sound what stops she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle, if his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's stithy. Give him heedful note, for my eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming. Well, my lord, if he steal aught the whilst this play is playing, and escape detecting, I will pay the theft. And sound a flourish. They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place. Enter trumpets and kettle drums. Enter king, queen, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and other lords attended with the king's guard carrying torches. And a partridge in a pear tree. How fares our cousin Hamlet? Excellent, in faith, of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot feed capon, so. I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine, nor not mine now. My lord, you played once at the university, you say? That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor. What did you enact? I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me. It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready? Ay, my lord. They stay upon your patience. Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me. No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive. Hamlet takes a place near Ophelia. Oh ho, did you mark that? Lady, shall I lie in your lap? No, my lord. I mean, my head upon your lap? Ay, my lord. Do you think I meant country matters? I think nothing, my lord. That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs. What is it? What is, my lord? Nothing. You are merry, my lord. Who? I? I, my lord. Oh God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours. Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord. So long? Nay, then, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh heavens, died 2 months ago, and not forgotten yet? Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. But, by Our Lady, he must build churches, then, or else shall he suffer not thinking on, with the hobby horse, whose epitaph is, for oh, the hobby horse is forgot. And the trumpet sound, dumb show follows. So I'm guessing this part that's italicized is the is the play itself. Like, hey, what's going on in the play? Wow, play within a play. Playception. Actually, never mind. I made that joke last time. But anyway, enter a king and queen very lovingly. The queen embracing him and he her. She kneels and makes show of protestation unto him. He takes her up and declines his head upon her neck. He lies him down upon a bank of flowers. She, seeing him asleep, leaves him. Anon comes in another man, takes off his crown, kisses it, pours poison in the sleeper's ears, and leaves him. The queen returns, finds the king dead, makes passionate action. The poisoner, with some 3 or 4 come in again, seem to condole with her. The dead body is carried away. The poisoner woos the queen with gifts. She seems harsh a while, but in the end accepts his love, and the players exit. What means this, my lord? Marry this. Marry. This is Meeching Malico. Oh, I think I got it right. Marry. This is Meeching Malico. I think that's how it's pronounced, but it means mischief. Belike this show imports the argument of the play. Enter prologue. We shall know by this fellow. The players cannot keep counsel. They'll tell all. Excuse me. Will he tell us what the show meant? I, or any show that you will show him. Be not you ashamed to show. He'll not shame to tell you what it means. You are not. I'll mark the play. For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently. And he exits. Is this a prologue or the posy of a ring? 'Tis brief, my lord, as woman's love. Enter the player king and queen. Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune salt washed and Tellus orbed ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen about the world have times 12 30s been, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite communal and most sacred bands. So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state, that I distrust you. Yet though I distrust, discomfort you, my lord, in nothing must. For women fear too much, even as they love, and women's fear and love hold quantity, in neither aught or in extremity. Now what my love is, proof hath made you know, and as my love is sized, my fear is so. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears, great love grows there. Here, faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply one is kind. For husband shalt thou. Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. And second husband let me be accursed. Unwed the second, but who killed the first? That's wormwood. The instances that second marriage move, who are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed. I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine off we break. Purpose is but the slave to memory, a violent birth, but poor validity. Which now, the fruit unripe, sticks on the tree, but fall unshaken when they mellow be. Most necessary 'tis that we forget, to pay ourselves what to ourselves is debt. What to ourselves in passion we propose, the passion ending, doth the purpose lose. The violence of either grief or joy, their own actors with themselves destroy. Where joy must revels, grief doth most lament. Grief joys, joy grieves, on slender accident. This world is not for aye, nor 'tis not strange, that even our love should with our fortunes change. For 'tis a question left us yet to prove, whether love lead fortune or else fortune love. The great man down, you mark his favorite flies. The poor advance makes friends of enemies. And hitherto doth love on fortune tend, for who not needs shall never lack a friend, and who in want a hollow friend doth try, directly seasons him his enemy. But, orderly to end where I begun, our wills and fates do some contrary run. That our devices are still overthrown, our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead. Nor earth to me give food, nor heaven's light, sport and repose lock from me day and night. To desperation turn my trust and hope, and anchor's cheer in prison be my scope. Each opposite that blanks in the face of joy, meet what I would have well and it destroy. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife. If she should break it now, 'tis deeply sworn, sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep. And sleeps. Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain. And the player queen exits. Uh, Real quick before we finish, I just gotta interject. Hamlet, it either make it all rhyme or make none of it rhyme, buddy. I know you kind of threw this play together, Hamlet, but come on, man. Adam, how you like this play? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Oh, but she'll keep her word. Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it? No, they do but jest, poison in jest. No offense in the world. What do you call the play? The Mousetrap. Mary, how? Tropically. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work. But what of it? What of that? Your Majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the galled jade wince. Our withers are unwrung, and enter Lucianus. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king. You are as good as a chorus, my lord. I can interpret between you and your love, if I could see the puppets dallying. You are keen, my lord, you are keen. It would cost you a groaning to take off mine edge. Excuse me. Still better love and worse. So you mistake your husbands. Begin. Murder. Pox. Leave thy damnable faces, and begin. Come, the croaking raven doth bellow for revenge. Thoughts black, hack hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. The mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's and thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, or wholesome life usurp immediately. Okay, that was a little better. Pours the poison in his ears. He poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderers get the love of Gonzago's wife. And Claudius rises. The king rises. What frighted with false fire? How fares my lord? Give o'er the play. Give me some lights. Away. Lights, lights, lights. And all but Hamlet and Horatio exit. Why let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungalled play? For some must watch while some must sleep, that thus runs the world away. What not this, sir, and a forest of feathers, if the rest of my fortunes turn Turk with me, with two provincial roses on my raised shoes, give me a fellowship in a cry of players? Half a share, a whole one, I. For thou dost know, O den and dear, this realm this mantle was, of love himself, and now reigns here, a very, very pajak. You might have rhymed. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for 1,000 pound. Didst perceive? Very well, my lord. Upon the talk of the poisoning, I did very well note him. Aha! Come, some music. Come, the recorders. For if the king not like the comedy, what I then be like he likes it not purty. Come, some music. Ensign Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Good, my lord. Vouchsafe me a word with you. Sir, a whole history. The king, sir. Ay, sir, what of him? Is in his retirement marvellous distempered. With drink, sir? No, my lord, with choler. Your wisdom should show itself more richer. To signify this to the doctor, for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into more choler. Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair. I am tame, sir. Pronounce. The queen your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you. You are welcome. Nay, good lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon in my return shall be the end of my business. Sir, I cannot. What, my lord? Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But, sir, such answers I can make. You shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother. Therefore no more but's the matter. My mother, you say. Then thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration. O wonderful son, that he can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part. She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed. We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us? My lord, you once did love me, and do still, by these pickers and stealers. Good, my lord, what is your cause of distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend. Sir, I lack advancement. How can that be, when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark? Ay, sir, but while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Enter the players with recorders. Oh, the recorders. Let me see one. To withdraw with you, why do you go about to recover the wind of me, as if you would drive me into toil? Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly. I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe? My lord, I cannot. I pray you, believe me, I cannot. I do beseech you. I know no touch of it, my lord. It is as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops. But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill. Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And there is much music, excellent voice, in this little organ. Yet cannot you make it speak. 'Tis blood. Do you think I am easy to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me. You cannot play upon me. Enter Polonius. God bless you, sir. My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently. Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel? By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed. Methinks it is like a weasel. It is backed like a weasel. Or like a whale. Very like a whale. That I will come to my mother's by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by. I will say so. By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. And all but Hamlet exit. 'Tis now the very witching time of nights, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do who such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft, now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words someover she be sent, to give them seals never. My soul consent. And he exits. Real quick before we get into the analysis, one moment. Okay. So sorry, I thought I lost the power for a second, but there's just some stuff turned off, so must be something with my power strip. Hopefully, it's not overloaded or anything, but I will get that fixed in a second. And so I'll have to fix it after I'm done here. But as for the synopsis, Hamlet gives directions to the actors and asks Horatio to help him observe Claudius's reaction to the play. When the court arrives, Hamlet makes bawdy and bitter comments to Ophelia. The traveling actors perform in dumb show and then with dialogue, a story that includes many elements of Claudius's alleged seduction of Gertrude and murder of King Hamlet. At the moment that the player king is murdered in his garden by his nephew, Claudius stops the play and rushes out. Hamlet is exuberant that the ghost's word has been proved true. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern return to tell Hamlet that Claudius is furious and that Gertrude wishes to see Hamlet at once in her sitting room. Hamlet promises himself that he will not harm her though he will speak daggers. So, Hamlet's about to, Hamlet's going to cause a little bit of a ruckus here. He already has. So, essentially, based off of, and that was the whole point of the play, is that not like the Hamlet play itself, but like the play here essentially to gauge Claudius's reaction. And Claudius slipped up and told on himself, and now everybody's upset. So how will Hamlet and his mother interact? We're gonna find out in scene 3. So I guess Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are and I get as full on kind of a Freudian slip, kind of showing that they more so are not necessarily there for Hamlet, but more so there for the king, which can kind of be implied, but now it's like pretty much confirmed. Hey, we're mainly here to seem like they're friendly and to check on them. And Hamlet kind of teases at Guildenstern, like, hey, you want my friend here? Play this recorder. Which it's granted, I played the recorder in I believe it was 2nd or 3rd grade. I forget when. No, I think it was later than that. I think it was towards middle school. But the recorder is easy to play, hard to master, and I definitely never mastered the recorder. But yeah, so kind of I guess going to show that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern no more than minions in a way, at least how Hamlet interprets it, and I guess that can be left up to interpretation. But now we move into scene 3 here. Or this time we move into scene 3, but enter King Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. I like him not, nor stands it safe with us, to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our state may not endure. Hazard so near her as doth hourly grow out of his brows. We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty. The single and peculiar life is bound, with all the strength and armor of the mind, to keep itself from annoyance, but much more, that spirit upon whose weal depends and rests the lives of many. The cess of majesty dies not alone, but like a gulf doth draw what's next with it, or is a massy wheel, fixed on the summit of the highest mount, to whose huge spokes 10,000 lesser things are moored aside and adjoined, which, when it falls, each small annexment, each small annexment, I think it's annexment, each small annexment, petty consequence, attends the boisterous ruin. Never alone did the king sigh, but with a general groan. Arm you, I pray you, to the speedy voyage, for we will fetters put out this fear, which now goes too free-footed. We will haste us. And with that, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit, and enter Polonius. My lord, he is going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself, to hear the process. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. And, as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should overhear the speech of vantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know. Thanks, dear, here, my lord. And Polonius exits. Oh, my offence is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray can I not. Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And, like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy, but to confront the visions of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But, oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? It cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects from which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself, buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There's no shuffling. There the action lies in its true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give in evidence. What, then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it, and when one cannot repent? O wretched states! O bosom black as death! O limed soul, that struggled to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels, make essay. Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. And he kneels. Enter Hamlet. Now might I do it. Pat, now he is praying, and I'll do it. He draws the sword. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenge. And so am I revenge. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, do the same villain send to heaven. Why, this is higher in salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May, and how his audit stands who knows she save heaven. But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him, and am I then revenged, to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No, upon sword, and know thou a more horrid hence. And he sheathes his sword. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game, a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be damned in black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days. And Hamlet exits. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. And he exits. So the synopsis here is that Claudius orders Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to take Hamlet to England, and Polonius tells Claudius of his plans to spy on Hamlet's conversation with Gertrude. Left alone, Claudius reveals his remorse for killing his brother, and he tries to pray. Hamlet comes upon him kneeling and draws his sword, but then stops to think that if he kills Claudius at prayer, Claudius will go to heaven. Hamlet decides to kill Claudius when the king is committing a sin, so that Claudius will instead go to hell. After Hamlet leaves, Claudius rises, saying that he has been unable to pray. So Polonius is that part of the plan is going through. Polonius is going to spy on the conversation, which apparently the conversation was to be had anyway, but now Polonius is going to spy on it and report back to Claudius. I guess both Hamlet and Claudius have people spying on people. But the other thing is that Hamlet there has the opportunity to kill Claudius and to avenge his father, but decides against it, saying no, he's praying. If I kill him while he's in the middle of prayer, he might go to heaven. God might forgive him. not exactly how that works, but sure. But Hamlet decides not to kill him just yet. But Claudius saying he's unable to pray, meaning Hamlet probably would have been fine. But now, will the opportunity present itself, and what will the conversation be between Hamlet and his mother? Let's find out as we move into scene 4. Enter Queen Apollonius. He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you be round with him. Mother, 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 I'll warrant you. Fear me not. Withdraw. I hear him coming. And Apollonius hides behind the arras and enter Hamlet. Now, mother, what's the matter? Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Mother, you have my father much offended. Come, you answer with an idle tongue. Go, you question with a wicked tongue. Why, how now, Hamlet? What's the matter now? Have you forgot me? No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and what it were not so, you are my mother. Nay, then I'll set the oaths to you that can speak. Come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help, ho! What, ho, help! How now? A rat? Dead for a ducat, dead. He kills Polonius by thrusting a rapier through the arras. Oh, I am slain. Oh me, what hast thou done? Nay, I know not. Is it the king? Oh, what a rash and bloody deed this is. Rash and bloody deed is this. A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother. As kill a king? Aye, lady, it was my word. And he pulls Polonius' body from behind the arras. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy as some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff. If damned custom have not brazed it so, then had it be proof and bulwark against sense. What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue and noise so rude against me? Such an act, that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as Dicier's oaths. Oh, such a deed, as from the body of contraction plucks, that a very soul and sweet religion makes, a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face does glow o'er the solidity and compound mass, with heated visage, as against the doom, as though slick at the act. Ay me, what act, that roars so loud and thunders in the index? Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildew-head ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed, and batten on this moor? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble, and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Sense, sure you have, else could you not have motion. But sure that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err. Nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thrall, but it reserved some quantity of choice, to serve in such a difference. What devil was it, that thus hath cozened you at hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one true sense, could not so mope. O shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth at virtue be as wax, and melts in her own fire. Proclaim no shame, when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, hence frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will. O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grain spots as will not leave their tint. Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an esteemed bed, stew in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty. Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my heart. No more, sweet Hamlet. A murderer and a villain. A slave that has not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord. A vice of kings. A cut purse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf in the precious diadem stole and put in his pocket. No more, a king of shreds and patches and Henderghost. Save me and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would her gracious figure? Alas, he is mad. Do you not come to your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say, do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest body's strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet. How is it with you, lady? Alas, how is it with you, that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do you who hold discourse? Forth at your eyes your spirits widely peep, and, as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hair, like life in excrements, start up and stand in end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look? On him, on him. Look you how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoin, preaching to stones, would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood, or it might be tears perchance for blood. To whom do you speak this? Do you see nothing there? Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see. Or did you nothing hear? No, nothing but ourselves. Oh, why, look you there. Look how it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived, look where he goes even now out at the portal, and the ghost exits. This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temporarily keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reward. Which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass but my madness speaks. It is will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst ranks corruption, and mining all within. Infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds, to make them ranker. Forgive me, this is my virtue. For, in the fatness of these pursy time, virtue itself a vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good. O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain. Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have not. That monster, custom, who all sense doth eat, of habits devil, is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock on or livery, that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night, and when you are desirous to be blessed, as I'll blessing beg of you, for this the same Lord. I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so, to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him and will answer well the death I gave him. So, again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. This bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady. What shall I do? Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king temper you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reechy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to rabble all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know. For who's that but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a gib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top. Let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions, in the basket creep, and break your own neck down. Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe, what thou hast said to me. I must to England, you know that. Alack, I had forgot, 'tis so concluded on. There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, that they bear the mandate, they must sweep my way, and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer, or it might be engineer. Yeah, engineer. For 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and it shall go hard. But I will delve 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet, when in one line two crafts directly meet. This man shall see me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor's room. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother. And they exit, with Hamlet tugging in Polonius. So, quite a bit happened there. So the synopsis essentially here is, in Gertrude's room, Polonius hides behind a tapestry. Hamlet's entrance so alarms Gertrude that she cries out for help. Polonius echoes her cry, and Hamlet, thinking Polonius to be Claudius, stabs him to death. Hamlet then verbally attacks his mother for marrying Claudius. In the middle of Hamlet's attack, the ghost returns to remind Hamlet that his real purpose is to avenge his father's death. Gertrude cannot see the ghost, and pities Hamlet its apparent madness. After the ghost exits, Hamlet urges Gertrude to abandon Claudius's bed. He then tells her about Claudius's plan to send him to England and reveals his suspicions that the journey is a plot against him, and which he resolves to counter violently. He exits, dragging out Polonius's body. Interesting that if you remember in the first act, within the first scene, the ghost of King Hamlet, that being, of course, Hamlet's father and the Queen / Gertrude's ex-husband and now deceased husband. Here and hers and Bernard and the guards were able to see him, and they were able to see the ghost, and so that's how they told Hamlet about it. That's how Hamlet saw the ghost, but Gertrude didn't see the ghost, so I wonder if that will come back. But also Hamlet making it full aware that he's aware of their plan, and at least Claudius is planning that Claudius may be planning to kill him, and the Queen saying Hamlet's gone mad, to which I say, yeah, kind of, but still. And then Polonius is kind of getting killed almost a bit unceremoniously, but Polonius, buddy, the whole point of staying hidden is not to tell people that you're there. So Hamlet attacks it, and he thinks it's Claudius, which you just saw Claudius. Why would Claudius just suddenly run into the other room and just hide behind the curtain? But nevertheless, so Hamlet kills him, and so now we see the tensions apparent between Hamlet and not only his mother but Claudius as well. His mother for going with Claudius and Claudius for killing his dad. So how will that play out in the scenes to come? We will find out next time, perhaps in Act 4. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so every time I upload a video so you can see it as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below, are you enjoying the story of Hamlet so far, or do you like my reading of it? Do you like the analysis of it so far, and as things are picking up, where do you think the story is going to go? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.